The automotive industry, a major industrial and economic force worldwide, comprises of all companies and activities involved in the manufacture of motor vehicles, including most vehicle components. It makes 60 million vehicles a year and is responsible for almost half the world's oil consumption. The industry alone employs 4 million people directly, provides well paying jobs with great benefits, has heavy links with supply industries, and a strong political influence. Associated Motorways Private Limited offers reliable customer solutions in the automotive industry across various sectors such as tire manufacturing, automobiles, and lubricants, ensuring successful delivery of their promise of superior performance, service quality, and customer convenience through a committed workforce and a network throughout Sri Lanka. Our interview persona today, Mr. Prasad Shanaka Hevanadu is the manager of Group Taxation of Associated Motorways Private Limited. He is a qualified chartered tax advisor and a chartered accountant. A fellow member of the Sri Lanka Institute of Taxation and an associate member of CA Sri Lanka, Mr. Hevanadu is also a visiting lecturer at the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka and the Sri Lanka Institute of Taxation for Taxation, Commercial Law and Corporate Law. Currently, he has over 7 years of experience in the field of taxation and 3 years of experience in the field of accounting, auditing and finance, and specialized exposure to the manufacturing and exports, automobile, leasing and banking, healthcare and insurance industries. Before moving to AMW, he was employed at MAS, PwC and BR De Silva & Co. and has a thorough knowledge in tax regulations and accounting and ERP systems.
With the lockdown being imposed, the main revenue stream of your company, basically sales of vehicles, spare parts and leasing, came to a standstill. So how did AMW manage its resources during the lockdown, and how resilient has AMW been throughout the whole experience?
If I will start, the COVID-19 pandemic was started from last 16th of March onwards, whereas all the companies were shut down from 1st of April onwards. And whereas as automobile industry was suddenly affected by where the import control rules have been established by the new government regularly, and saying that they are going for a suspension scheme called temporary suspension scheme for the automobile industry. And whereas all the motor vehicles list has been reshifted to a separate scheme called temporary suspension. So thereafter, the entire automobile industry were like we call like there are many they are called like a competent staff, and also the competent structure was suddenly changed with the temporary suspension scheme. All the automobile companies were stopped to import and also stopped for the opening of LCs. Okay, so that was already they imposed the laws from 13 April onward, and it was reshifted again on June 30th, and also again on the July 31st. They have been issued 3 laws to Sri Lanka saying that for the first of that custom rules was saying that they will stop all the imports in Sri Lanka, not only automobile but also other items as well. But thereafter, all of a sudden, to maintain the foreign currency fluctuation and also to stabilize on the foreign currency reserve, they want to stop importing motor vehicles, because what is the government intention is to establish kind of export-oriented market rather than the import-oriented. So what they was like planning to all of a sudden to stop entirely importing of motor vehicles, including two-wheelers and three-wheelers as well. Okay, so then that was stopped like from June 30th onwards, so until further informed by the state government. So up to date, mobile industry is not open to for any imports in Sri Lanka. So whereas as AMW is a diversified group, it's not merely depend on the importing and local selling motor vehicles. It also goes with a leasing company, and also we have manufacturing of tire, and also we do have a separate castrol product called uh, lubricants. So we are majorly depend on our leasing company as well as automobile per se. We did have the stock until 31st December 2020. Now it always goes with the out of stock. So that is majorly goes with saying that even though the import rules restrictions were came with this newly temporary suspension came from 1st of April 2020, but we had enough stock until 31st December 2020. Now our all the stocks under the automobile category were sold out, and then still we are depend now. We do have some other spare parts, and because now earlier when I was saying to you on the 1st April 2020, they were trying to say that the entire imports of Sri Lanka were banned, and uh, but almost thereafter, fortunately, what they were trying to say is like they have removed the parts, the spare parts column into the active list and saying that automobile industry is open to import parts only, the spare parts. So then we are always in our automobile company, always have a separate business segment called spare parts. So then now the company is entirely dependent on the after sales as well as spare parts. Also, we have a lubricant sale as well. And basically, it's conglomerate with the leasing industry plus our product. So those are the categories that came across with that. It was really hard on that year because none of us, the company, were not expect that the government will automatically go with due to this COVID pandemic for like a highly full ban of importation because there is no sign of us and there is no sign of a law to say that what is the reason behind that for go like all of a sudden rules and regulation imposed only for the automobile industry because as at the date because there are many like we call like the permanent card for the entire automobile industry would be like 8,000 to 9,000. So all of a sudden with the ban and it was many open for the VRS scheme for the employees because the entire the manpower cost has to be shut down and shut down into one level. So that was affected into one part. So but now uh, as per 2021, we are hoping that the government will uplift this law by end of June 30th and also at least open for the two-wheelers and giving some separate credit period for like to our suppliers to open our LCs into a some level margin with our suppliers by starting from July 1st, 2021 onwards. So that was a summary that how we affected and how we structured in some way to our MW group revenue streams.
Okay, then our next question is, what are the measures or strategies taken by your company and industry to sustain in the long term, reclaiming the negativities caused by the pandemic in terms of safeguarding the financial stability of the company as well as the industry and protecting the workforce?
Yeah, actually, we didn't want to go for like a much plan because we are already stable with like every month with a 2 million working capital cycle, 2 billion. Okay. So then thereafter, what we had to do is reshuffle the framework uh, where the government itself goes with the country full period. So during that lockdown period, the major concern came with the board of management of AMW is first of all not to collect the revenue, but also to how to keep our employees safe down. So it went with saying that we were like hopefully being paid all the monthly packages salaries for each and every employee on every month. Now, example, I think the uh, lockdown came across in March 16 onwards, and it will end up with like a 11th May, where the country again open for like employment. So until that, we will take care by the company and also we pay salaries and even bonus on time basis for the employees. And thereafter, the income wise, normally companies they go through with simply their performance sheet as a P&L and the balance sheet as a statement of financial position. So we have the major concern of three items, that is our inventory, and other is our data, and other is our payable. So inventory, we have enough inventory sold out for the government entities and also for the individual companies as well as the entities. And for the confidential information, I cannot say what is our trade receivable position, but as per based on our balance sheet, there was a kind of a significant component of a trade receivable came across with 2011 to 2017, where we reshuffle it and we are trying to collect those trade receivable that is part of our stock. Okay, and also we went with a deferment plan for like our trade payables immediately from 13 March onwards. We started have a deferment plan to pay our payables on like a priority basis.
How does AMW plan on responding to the government's future plan in terms of continuing the import ban and increasing the useful life of the vehicles while also incentivizing the resale market?
At the moment, AMW board is planning to have open a separate card, including with our foreign principals who are in Japan and Korea and also in India. So we are going to open a plant in Sri Lanka to build up some like a we call assembly of cars and also two-wheelers. So that was like, and also we are trying to show that the company is already invest like a 40% on this industry. So whereas it opened a value addition of a 25% as they are agreed, and also we are getting income tax benefits, VAT benefit out of that. So it's like a 25 years tax exemption period. So now we, at the moment, we are trying to negotiate with the government to attract our foreign to uh, principals to invest in Sri Lanka to open up the plant. So because otherwise we don't know, and also we don't have any clue. Whereas the Sri Lankan government goes and uplift the ban. So we hope for the best that they will open up a ban, even though they already closed the ban and open the market again. I think they're trying to control the import vehicles, because in 2015 to 2020, the government already advised us there was a massive cash outflow went through their P&L because of this importing motor vehicle. That is quite not acceptable. It's not merely because of that only the importing motor vehicles were outed in Sri Lanka. That's because of the currency fluctuation went on. That would be a one reason. But that was the actual the intention by the government, saying that the major component of outflow in the country under the foreign currency fluctuation situation is the importing of motor vehicles. So therefore, the government intention is always to build up a manufacturer market as well as export market. So then the automobile industries also the big level companies also have to rethink on their business plan for like the next 5 years. How we are going to have a value addition to show us a value addition in the country to sustain our importing motor vehicle business. And whereas the companies has to at least start to assembling motor cars or assembling motor two-wheelers. Likewise, you have to have an assemble plant inside Sri Lanka. So that is encouraged for the most of the government plan, saying that automobile industry must go with the value addition platform. Otherwise, the ban will be again go to, it will continue till 31st December 2021 as well. So that is the more or less just answer to your question.
So, what is the most concerned strategy in the new normal that you think that your company should prioritize to gain the advantage back in hand?
Basically, what we are most concerned strategy was like during this period, the most of the companies were planned. We put many compliances and controls and reshifted our business plan. Okay, so whereas as you asked on the last question, a couple of question, if I uh, to be frankly saying that our spare parts into some level were not very well implemented, and for a couple of 5 years it was a loss. But now we already planned very well, and we reshuffle the entire spare parts division with a new plan and how to get the target. So then with the new import control rules, and they opened 30% of the spare parts imported to Sri Lanka, so we got the advantage. And then we before that before that opening, I think it came on June 30th, but on from March onwards, we resigned our spare parts division and try to get them. And also there was a employment cut down went on that, because there was some extra staff there. Whereas the business strategy is always go with the top line, middle line, and the low line. So it always goes to the top line level on the spare parts, whereas we have a KPI under the to cut down the manpower as well, to get the lucrative benefit to the company. So we reshuffle our plans and redesign our internal controls and the business plan on the future 3 years for the spare parts. And also we have increased the sales volume of the after sales, whereas we went with like a special app, AMW app, because it, it gave us the time to go the automobile industry for the online platform, even leasing industry. So now, even if you are a customer, you don't need to come for us and go through our cars and go and see, especially in Sri Lanka, customer states, the state still goes with that. You do need to come to the special car sale and go through the car, and you have to touch the car likewise. But now with our AMW app in the doorstep, you can go through the whether the car is available, which part you need, or the spare part, how much stock available, which branch you can collect it. Likewise, we have built up throughout just 2-3 months. We have built up a special app.
While many industries were at risk initially and are mitigating them by adapting to the new norm, do you think the measures taken by the Sri Lankan government in relation to the automobile industry have been supportive and positive? And what does the industry truly expect from the government at this point of time?
As a finance professional, I would say imposing government regulation overnight is not sustainable. That would be highly affected for the automobile industry, that we failed, because we had asked this question couple of platforms, whereas from the last year onwards, even from Mr. Ajit Nimar Kabra and also Dr. T.B. Jayasundara, because they are the most key people that the government policy, they are the people, those who create the government policy and where it goes converting to the law. So we have made several representation to those two, and also the high level of the government officials. Even we went to the prime minister level and also the Sri Lanka Mr. This level. But unfortunate thing is, as I mentioned in the question number one very beginning, the government has like established a word in saying that they need to maintain their foreign reserve, as well as they need to maintain the foreign currency fluctuation. So whereas they have identified a separate industry, out of that the top level industry is the automobile industry, where at the time of importing, so the many outflow will inculcate through that industry. So that's what their opinion saying. They were trying to minimize importing motor cars, and also they established that with the statistics that they came up with, every person in Sri Lanka has a 1 or 2 motor vehicle, and the population, based on the population, the consumption of a motor car is almost 100 to 2. So therefore, that is what they have mentioned is, what they're saying is, like what they're trying to establish is, now the three-wheeler usage, two-wheeler usage, as well as the motor car usage is more than enough for the next 5 years, which is, I don't know, I mean, there's a grounds of proper grounds of establish such kind of assumption. And also what they are encourage us is, now there are 10,000 motor vehicles which are not sold in the industry. For the next 2 years, the automobile industry must focus on that 10,000 motor vehicles plus to sell that. And also there are 10,000 unused motor vehicles, those are damaged motor vehicles. So the whatever the companies, those who are in the automobile industry, must go through the 10,000 stock and try to do the after sales out of that. So which is not fine, because if you go through in Sri Lanka these days, now in for us, our balance sheet inventories are totally sold. Now we don't have any two-wheelers and three-wheelers or like a motor cars in our stocks. The entire stocks were over. Now, if they are trying to say that there are like we have dealers like island-wide dealers, like 300 dealers. So due to this reason, we shut down this 300 dealer network up to 100. So that is highly affected for us. And what the government says that they are going to keep up. Holding this ban means it will directly affect to the automobile, and there will be more pay cut down and more employment retirement scheme will be offered. That open VRSs will come to the employee, and most of the employees will never keep their leg into the automobile because this ban itself as a risk. So therefore, I don't feel, even if you ask any uh, uh, professional who is working at automobile industry, saying that the government restriction all of a sudden imposed rules are not flexible at all. So that is my overall concern.
Forecasting the coming years of determining strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats is crucial now more than ever for a company. I'm sure none of us would have foreseen a pandemic. With this experience, what sort of proactive measures do you think the industry should take to be prepared to encounter such abnormal events?
Very true. Now we are now almost 12 months older from this COVID-19 pandemic. Now we are reaching the month of March. So it's a year been affecting this pandemic. So the basic scenario is all the automobile industry and the companies, those who are depend on the automobile industries, they have to, now with this import ban, we never know in Sri Lankan government what is their future plan on import ban day. So we have to hope for the best, but we cannot wait until they open the ban. So then what is your plan is you have to have a separate revenue portfolio income. So you cannot depend on only from importing motor vehicles and selling in Sri Lanka. So sometime back that was your main income, but now you have to shift into some other parts as well. Now as MW in our main revenue is true, that is automobile industry, like importing motor vehicles. Now we get a good sign from the government that's saying that on the next month and next April onwards, they are almost going to open like to go for like a two-wheelers quota. So the entire automobile industry will open this quota, and all the big companies and the dealers of that three-wheeler quota or the two-wheeler quota, they can get that quota and they can start to sell two-wheelers and three-wheelers in Sri Lanka. So that is the only remedy available by the government.
How receptive have employees in the industry been to the changes in the industry, and what measures have AMW taken to ensure that employees remain positive and secure about their jobs and the industry?
Now, if you go through from 13 March 2020 last year onwards, you might be hear several official announcements shared with the social media platform, as well as in some Google magazines and all, saying that there are big companies, not only for automobile, people, those who are experts on their export industry, manufacturing, retail, the group like a multinational groups and also the locally big companies went for a staff cut down. Okay, so I don't think that is a possible, because whereas now the in labor laws in Sri Lanka is really strengthened and really strict. Any companies cannot open VRS even without the proper establishment, legal background, and send the employees into home. So they can't do at all. Okay, so but if you go through from the last year, the many companies, the big corporates, they were came up with a cut down and say that, and also the people are asked to leave because there's a revenue loss. That's true. But when it comes to automobile industry, that's in the between that at AMW, we have been given official announcement after our VRS scheme saying that none of the safeguard of the employees' employment status are being continued, and no more VRSs will open to anyone unless like unbearable situation came across with that, because we are like a dependent company of a multinational group. So therefore, since I think we are having like a 3,000 staff at the moment, all the workers plus the permanent cadre, and also with all the service level companies almost across the group, including leasing. We at the moment we do have a 3,200 employment base. So that 3,200 employment base can be continued until this year or the next year. We have done our forecaster as well to see whether the payments also can be done, because we do manage for 2 billion portfolio or the working capital cycle. It is very strong. If our balance sheet are almost strong enough to pay the payroll amounts as at the date to all, each employee. But if the entire obstacle is when this ban is, because like we are highly expertise on our automobile industry, and we are highly expertise on import our motor vehicles, and the foreign principals is also waiting to sell their product. Okay, so it's like a massive issue at the moment in the world also, whereas every country goes and restricts the import ban. So, but the motor cars, we are hope for the best that government will at least open this motor car, and by July 1st onwards, then I think the employment safeguard will be continued forever, like within next 5 years. But people are, now as an employee, you might have a getting a risk in your mind, say that keeping leg into the automobile, even though you are a CEO or a CFO or a manager or a worker, what will be happen to me on within next 1 year or the 2 year? But that assurance at AMW given to the big level to the low level of employee, that means the worker level, the employee, all the employees, that there won't be any BRS or a cut down. So we are strengthening our employee and maintaining at the moment 3,200 level employment base. Because it was earlier like a 4,800, 4,500. So now it was cut down into level, as I mentioned in the question number 3.
As our last question, sir, do you think COVID has left any positive mark on automotive industry? If so, what and why do you say so?
In the life, I think we do getting. I think this is a good teaching technique. Whereas the COVID came as on last year, I think as a person, we need to think that on ourselves, as a companies, as industries. I think all of the industries except few industries um, were affected this one, especially for automobile industry. I think with this pandemic, where have a major impact on negative side based on import ban, but we convert that import ban into our good level, whereas we have built up our online platforms. As I mentioned earlier, leasing company, so we have built up a separate leasing app, whereas company can go through with the rates and all the fixed ratings and everything. Our customer will update every month, and like with no with like a fingertip, they can update our leasing industry, and also what are the leasing products are available. So, and second thing is automotive spare parts. AMW itself has a separate, we have built up a separate app for the automobile cars and the bikes as well. So whereas it goes, any person, if you also can join to that app, simply through the Play Store, you can drag it down, and you through that app will give you access to go through our stocks and see whether what are the parts, what are the motor vehicles, what are the brands, and where are we come from, what are the principles that we look for, and what type of a foreign principles which are going to cater to AMW, where it's like a likewise. So the major uh, plus point that we came across with, we have strengthened our online platform, and also we went with our digital marketing platform. So whereas we have reshuffled it, and we took the advantage on that last couple of last year, and we from March to May, we are trying to build up our online platform for our leasing industry and also to our car industry, the motor. And apart to that, as I mentioned, after sales, we are going to have a new contract in Sri Lanka first time, with giving some new service level contracts, saying that gold level, silver, and platinum level with a new platform in Sri Lanka. So we focus on that contract as well for the our after sales services. And spare parts, as I mentioned, it was like not very properly implement, even though the spare part business were like a 4 years old at BMW, but it was not like very lucrative much for that one. And we have redesigned our internal controls plan, and we have re-established a separate business plan and try to maximum get the advantage out of that. So the plus point we took it out of the COVID-19 is like a reshuffle and redesign our internal controls and the business plan, as well as we have established, because we were like a manual, the automobile industries most of the time it goes with the manual work, and but now I think MW after their 70 years excellence, so they came up with like a online platform with a digital marketing. So we have built our own app. So through the app, we can reach it to almost customer level with 1 minute. So those are the plus points that we have taken out of the COVID-19.
First of all, I would like to extend our thanks to our guest interviewee, Mr. Prasad Shanaka Evanathigadage, for his time and enlightening us with this insight on the topic of discussion. I would also like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the lecturer of the Department of Business Economics, Professor Mr. Janak Kumar Singha and Mr. Dimu Jayasingara. Thank you, sir, for guiding us throughout. Last but not the least, I also like to thank my team members for their time, commitment and effort for making this group a success. Thank you.